Notre Dame dominated Georgia, and my friends at The Athletic broke it down. I'd never taken the time to figure it out. It's simple math, though, but there are 3,600 seconds in a college football regulation game.
Okay.
In 54 seconds, Georgia lost the game 17 points. 54 seconds and the game is over with.
We talk about the middle eight. Obviously, Brandon Marcello and I do that show. Last 4 minutes the first half, first 4 minutes of the second half. A lot of coaches really believe that is one of the most critical parts of the game. And it was the middle one, basically, for Notre Dame. They scored 17 of the quickest points you will ever see scored.
Yeah, so, Georgia holds them to the Jeter 48-yard field goal, and then Georgia needs to take it to half at 6-3.
Yeah,
I know it's easy to say now.
But I was thinking it in the moment, weren't you?
Yeah,
were
because,
you like,
Notre Dame had pressured Stockton, pressured him the entire game, and look, you get out of there 6-3, you regroup, Notre Dame's going to get the ball. And after the strip sack, immediate play, it's a 10-point game. And then the Marshall transfer takes it to the house. And at that point, you're like, I don't think Georgia can come back from this.
That's where the game was so uncharacteristically lost for me. Because Kirby Smart is a Nick Saban guy. Saban and Smart play it by the book, play it by the vest. What are you going to do in those 33 seconds? And I told this to Brown last night when I was on the phone with him. I was like, when you took that time out to ice the kicker, if you're gonna do something offensively when you get the ball back after that kick, you want all 3 timeouts. You gave a timeout up when you iced the kicker before the field goal, 6-3, and now you're going to take the kick, and now you're going to try to do something with 2 timeouts instead of 3. You're sending mixed signals here.
Well,
if you're in your mind, you're going to do something offensively. You didn't get a great kick return. I mean, there was nothing there that indicated, let's go, go, go. That's a take the knee, go to the locker room moment right there all day long.
I even believe with Carson Beck, with only 2 timeouts, you take a knee.
Yeah, everybody. You take a knee right there. You're 6-3 with your backup quarterback. Game was moving too fast for him to start with for that whole team. I think the whole team underestimated how fast and physical Notre Dame was. And then you regroup at halftime saying, guys, it's only 6-3. And then you go out there and you maybe just kick it out of bounds or something. Just a crappy coverage coming out of the locker room, and the game's over at that point.
Yeah, it looked like Joshua Cribbs. Do you remember the old Bowling Green quarterback that ended up playing for the Browns for a while and was a great returner?
Yep.
That's what Jaden Harrison looked like, a guy that had transferred from Marshall, returned a couple of kicks last year. I mean, it's amazing when you got the resources. You basically can just go out and get a guy that's a returner and pay him NIL dollars.
A Marshall guy on the kick return for a touchdown. It was a Duke transfer that was at quarterback. It was a Duke transfer that did the strip sack. A lot of portal action last night for the Fighting Irish.
And if Dabo
was watching.
Yeah, Northwestern quarterback made a nice play for Notre Dame. Let's just – I know we got a lot of layers to this game. Let's call it like it is. This was the second worst team that Kirby Smart has had.
Only his first one was worse?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna argue with that. I don't want to say that because people will think I'm not giving Notre Dame their flowers.
Oh, I hate that saying. You said the other day you hated that saying.
Wait,
I just threw it out.
Who says that?
It's weird people.
All the girls.
Yeah,
sure. So I got to give Notre Dame its props. They are a legitimate front seven. They have legitimate speed.
Well, they can win this thing now.
I like their physical. They have depth because you had some star players are getting hurt, and they just replaced them with players equal to them. So I want to give Notre Dame Marcus Freeman out-coached Kirby Smart.
That's what is the most concerning thing to me if I'm a Georgia fan. I know I've got an elite coach, but Marcus Freeman flat out coached
He did.
him.
In the 4th and 1, though, I just don't get it. They weren't going to snap it.
I know, but that's just great coaching by Marcus Freeman. That was spectacular coaching on his part. He gets Georgia in an uncomfortable situation where your mind, you've run off the field. Now I got to run back on the field. My mind is racing. That's exactly why you jumped off sides. I mean, you're not focused because I've lost my focus. That's the whole purpose of that play. I've run off the field. Whew. All right, we held it. Go back. Defense back on the field, So now I've lost my focus. I'm hurried to get out there. That's when you make mistakes. It's when you're rushing and you're not focused. That's right.
And now my heart's beating so fast they give the hard count and I fire.
Such an incredible job of coaching by Marcus Freeman. To have the organization, first of all, to pull that off. To get 11 guys to run off as fast as they did and have 11 to run back on as fast as they did. That's just incredible.
Now, I said it
coaching.
yesterday. I like Marcus Freeman a lot. I didn't know what to think about him in a big game.
Oh, he delivered.
Yeah, look, he's 13-5 against ranked teams. He's 7-0 this year against ranked teams. He's in a semifinal. I think he's a slight favorite right now, too, over Penn State.
I'd have to pull it up.
That's what I would list it at.
1.5 was the opening line last night when I saw it.
Yeah, he's got a chance to win a national championship. He looks the part. He's always looked the part from the interim time against Iowa State on the sideline. Future is bright for Notre Dame. And I got to say this. I know I'm in the minority. I kind of love the fact that we're in a semifinal. We're down to the final 4 teams, and there's not an SEC team. I'm not counting Texas. Texas ain't an SEC team.
Okay.
They're getting that jet.
They hadn't beaten anybody this year. They're not really an SEC team.
So why do you like that?
I just think it's kind of neat.
Well, we had it last year. I mean, not the Final Four, but the championship game.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it just shows you we've got more balance in college football.
Well, it does show you that there's more parity. It's not a one-conference game as it has appeared to be for quite a while.
The SEC's gotten a little too cocky.
Yeah, I don't want to take you guys into a lab, but probably need to wait a year or two before you start saying that it's changed. I mean, we've had Florida State win a national championship. Who'd they beat in that game? It was Oregon in 2013?
No, they beat Auburn. You were there.
That's right. I was at that one. Yeah. Who beat Oregon? Ohio State, 2014.
Yeah.
Ohio State beat Oregon in that game. So that was 2 years without an SEC championship. We had some Clemson dominance there. Michigan won it last year. It takes a little bit of a time for Rome to burn, right?
No, I get
You
that. I'm
guys,
just saying.
You guys can sit over there playing your fiddles and think there are flames rising in the background, but Rome's not dead yet.
No, I just think it's interesting, though. The SEC is trying to control this whole thing, and they don't even have anybody fighting in it.
Now they're going to argue. They're going to argue they have Texas fighting in it. You're going to be the one that's arguing that Texas.
God, Texas 4th and 13, man. It would have been so good if Arizona State could have converted that.
Oh no, it wouldn't. You'd have to watch Ohio State and Arizona State. You don't want to watch that game. You know Ohio State. Texas is going to be a better game.
True for true blue bloods, though.
Oh, it is. No, this is when you design a college football playoff. You pray that your Final Four has this type of team in it.
Can you imagine the ratings on this thing?
Oh, it's going to be huge. Yeah, it's going to be huge.
You say that. It'll be big, but it's Thursday and Friday night.
Well, those.
I mean, I don't have plans. Do you?
Yeah, I don't. No,
I think they'll get massive numbers. You don't think Notre Dame, Penn State on a Thursday night will get a massive number?
Okay, now do me the Friday night game. Ohio State, Texas.
Ohio State, Texas.
Yeah. And
Let's see.
Do we not have a deep freeze throughout the country?
Yeah, that's going to help, by the way.
That could help. That could help.
And 9th and 10th is when they're talking about all that crap hitting.
We'll talk about the ratings and attendance and all that coming up in a bigger topic a little bit later on. Let's continue to jump in this game a little bit. All right, let's go first to that 4th and 11 play, a 4th and 1 play where they run 11 off the field and 11 on the field. Give me cut 2 first and then cut 4. We'll get Kirby Smart's perspective here because Kirby was saying that that's not legal to run 11 on, off and on. And he was, at one point when he was through arguing that, after the play, I mean, it was a couple of plays later, I promise you, I think he turned to a staff member, and I think I read his lips, go get me the rule book.
Was it the kid that almost made the tackle on the sideline?
I mean, it's a bigger topic. Okay. Save that, yeah. Here's Kirby Smart on the 4th and 1 where Notre Dame subbed all 11 players quickly.
The 4th and 1 late in the football game, they run the punt team off. Was there a thought to call a timeout there? I know you guys are down.
Yeah, didn't want to because they were going. That's what they wanted. They wanted us to burn a timeout there and try to do it, and then we subbed. So it's really unfortunate because I've been told by our head of officials in the SEC that you can't do that. You can't run 11 on 11 off. We did it in 2017 against Tennessee. We've carried that. We practiced that and repped that because teams try to do it, and we were told by officials you could not do that. And so we were trying to say you couldn't do it. We got our defense out there. We were fine. I mean, I would have gone for it if I was them. So I don't think they were planning on going for it. They were going to hard count us, and we prepare for that. We do it every week, and we jumped off sides, But we also were told you couldn't do that in our league.
So that's not the reason they jumped off sides, though. They jumped off sides because, to Lance's point, you're just not disciplined enough or whatever. You weren't paying attention. I don't understand what he's saying. I mean, I don't doubt that Kirby has been told that, but anytime you punt, you run 11 offensive players off and 11 special teams players on for the most part.
Yeah,
for the most part, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I never knew that it was illegal. I don't know if it is as I sit here today. I'm shocked that perceived greatest coach left in the game, who I assume knows the rule book,
You would think.
Thinks it's illegal.
I can't believe he just said he would have gone for it. There's no chance you go for it.
I think in that situation when you caught everyone scrambling and like
Oh,
that.
yeah, that. But I thought the context I thought was I would have gone for it to begin with.
No.
I agree with.
We run them on, and
Yeah.
we're scrambling to substitute. I would have gone on to
I agree with what he's saying. Notre Dame wanted them to burn a timeout because Georgia had to have timeouts at that point. They're down 2 scores.
Yeah, because at that point they had 2 timeouts, right?
That's right. And the clock is ticking, so they're going to need those timeouts. And I think that was really ultimately what Notre Dame wanted, unless they jump. And then when they jump, you got a free play and a automatic first down, so run it.
I assume it's legal, and it's a brilliant coaching move by Marcus Freeman. Tyler, if you'll give me cut number 4, this is Marcus Freeman and Riley Leonard both talking on that 4th and 1 and how they rep it, and they're just ready to roll with this play. It's something that they've worked on many times.
That situation that happened in the 4th quarter was something we practiced, and I think the performance is a reflection of that. We had a lot of confidence in the ability to be able to do that, and we had a plan, and that's the aggressiveness in terms of our preparation that I want our program to have, and again, out there when it matters the most. And so that's got to be one of our edges, right, is that we are going to be an aggressive group and not fear making mistakes, not fear, hey, it didn't go your way. We went for it on 4th and 1. We didn't execute. Okay, here we go, defense, and they got to stop. And so that's how I want this group to attack our preparation and attack performance when we have the opportunity.
Real quick, he's being humble. That was completely his play, and we were going to do it a different way, like 2 days ago. And then he flipped it, and we executed it that way, and it worked.
It's our
so
play.
he's being humble
Our
like
play.
all throughout the year. All right, yeah, you know this guy, but I'll say it for him. Great call, great execution.
But it's hard not to like Marcus Freeman.
I know. He's 38 years old. I mean, 40 under 40. If you took 40 coaches under the age of 40 that have all this potential, I know Sean McVay would be number 1.
Of course he would.
Is he
Yes.
still under 40?
Oh, yeah.
40 under 40, definitely he's in there. I mean,
Riley Leonard is that he's still like a 16-year-old,
I know.
all this excitement.
I know. That guy sticks his nose in there, though. That dive play he made for the first down, dang.
But, I mean, Marcus Freeman took a job. Look, it's a great job, but it was one of those jobs that, okay, you're going to be top 10, top 15. You're never going to be able to win a championship. It's one of the reasons that Brian Kelly left, right? He went to LSU where he could win a championship.
How's that working out?
And now, ironically, I don't know how you guys feel. Eileen, Notre Dame beats Penn State.
I do too. I mean, he left because he wanted to get talent, the way I perceived it, that could match up with the SEC when you got to the playoffs. All of a sudden, the guy that took over for him has brought in talent that was as physical or more physical than Georgia, as fast or faster than Georgia, beat Georgia. I would assume if it was Texas on the other side, they would have been equal in physicality and speed as Texas. If it was Tennessee, if it was Alabama, I'm sure that would have looked the same as it looked last night, speed-wise and physical-wise. So I think, Brian Kelly left for the grass that is greener on the other side of the fence when he probably should have just worked a little harder at Notre Dame, or maybe waited on this NIL era to come by where he could have brought in players that were maybe Freeman's a better evaluation of talent. I don't know, but more physical. He wanted more physical players and faster players that can compete with the SEC. So he went to LSU in the SEC to get those players. By the way, those players are now in South Bend. They look just like an SEC team or a great Big Ten team.
What I hope doesn't happen is Marcus Freeman gets wooed by all these NFL teams. Stay put.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'd like to see him in the college game.
Yeah.
I like him. But he's a good coach, and I don't know if the NFL would come after him or not, if the Bears or somebody like that would want to hire him. It's just, it continues to be wild to me that if Clark Lee had said, you know what, I know what Vanderbilt is, I'm not going to go struggle to rebuild that, I'm gonna buy my time. Marcus Freeman's not even coach of that game yesterday. It's just so wild how those types of decisions have so many ripple effects.
I would just go back to earlier this year after the Northern Illinois loss. There were people that were wondering whether or not Marcus Freeman would survive at Notre Dame. I mean, he'd lost to Northern Illinois, he'd lost to Marshall.
And I stupidly said they're out of the playoffs. I mean, I thought that loss knocked them out of the playoffs because I didn't think there was any way if you're going to lose to Northern Illinois, you're going to win out the rest of that schedule.
I do think there's a question to be asked. How did that team with that talent lose to Northern Illinois? I guess you can just have bad days and things like that.
Yeah, I guess
It's college football now.
The world we live in, yeah.
I mean, it's college football.
But I mean,
now.
this team is red hot right now, and the defense is absolutely legitimate.
Okay, one more from Kirby Smart, cut one, if we can. And because I have not seen this Kirby Smart before. Even after Alabama losses, I have not seen this Kirby Smart before. Here's Kirby Smart on just summing up the loss.
They did a really good job. They play really hard, physical brand of football. So do we. Those two mirror each other. I think both defenses played well, and we turned the ball over, and they didn't. And they gave us problems in the pass game with the sack and the sack fumble. So give them a lot of credit. That takes nothing away from these men on the stage and the seniors that are part of this class. I mean, absolutely incredible. I just told them what they went through this year and what they played and how they played, the resiliency, the injuries that we've had, and to win an SEC championship, which I have so much respect for our conference, and to win some of the comeback games they won and never quit, even in this game, never quit. That's the attitude you got to have to get better as a football program.
Yeah, he's in that whole news conference, he was complimentary of these seniors, but he kept going back to just how tough of the road it's been for him. It was a different road for Georgia because we didn't have divisions anymore, and it took its toll on this team.
It did, but I'll say this, man, like for a guy that recruits at the highest of high levels, you have got to find some skill that's not going to drop footballs and some skills that actually guys that can take a game over. Georgia doesn't have that. I can't really. So Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers were those guys. But outside of that, I mean, they've done it with dominant defenses and really good heady quarterback play.
And by the way, you stumbled into Ladd McConkey probably. You never
Probably.
thought, when you recruited him, you never thought he was going to be.
You didn't think he was an
turning.
NFL receiver.
Yeah.
And you heard on the broadcast yesterday, I think it was on the broadcast, where they were talking about Marcus Freeman said this is the best group of tight ends he's faced. They're all good, but they're not Brock Bowers. Like, Georgia's got to find more playmakers. They absolutely have to.
I don't want to throw dirt on Mike Bobo, but it does seem like they could have used those great tight ends a little bit more with the inefficiencies they had at the offense.
Like, how many catches did Delp have yesterday? I only remember one.
Yeah, one great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Delp just really hasn't been involved this year like he, needs to be involved. And you would have thought with Gunnar Stockton, his roommate, I don't know how many times we were told that, would probably get some more touches. Etienne's good. I think Frazier's got a lot of potential out of the backfield, but Dylan Bell and Arian Smith, those guys can't catch.
I mean,
by the way, I didn't think Stockton played that bad. I don't know about you guys.
No, I didn't either.
No, I don't think that was your issue.
If you would have told me,
like, I'm not sure they win that game with Beck playing.
if you tell me Stockton is 20 of 32, 234, a touchdown, and he doesn't throw any picks, and then on the other side, Jeremiah Love, who was hurt, 6 carries, 19 yards, I'd have been like, Georgia wins the game.
Yeah, and I don't think Riley Leonard's numbers blow you away. I don't think
They never do.
I don't think any of the Notre Dame offensive numbers blow you away. It was, I think Carson Beck fumbles the ball like Stockton does on that strip sack, and Carson Beck doesn't play on special teams on that kick return to start the second half, and Carson Beck doesn't keep walk-on backup DBs running into officials on the sidelines. Let's get to that. A play down to the 11-yard line for Georgia, but Parker Jones, was that Spider-Man's name? Parker Jones?
No.
Peter Parker.
Peter Parker. Would have been a great name. Would have been
Parker
a great tie-in.
Jones?
Parker Jones, number 39. They had his name ready to call out really quickly. Steps into the wide area, bump into the officials. I have never, and here's a picture of what happened. I have never, ever seen a 15-yard penalty for sideline interference before without there being a sideline warning.
It's got to be a warning.
It happened
And
in
then-
the Alabama game.
And then I saw it happen in the Alabama game, and then it happens again in this game, and I'm like, what's happening? And I'm going to be flat honest with you. I thought it happened in the Alabama game because it was a female official.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, okay, she's just not on the football field a lot. She's enforcing this rule a little too strict. Let's don't be black and
For the
white
record,
here.
Dunaway saying
it
it.
was Jim that said it.
That's
not
why I
Les.
said
Yeah,
it. That's why I said it. I was
I know.
like, I didn't know we had all these female officials in college football.
What
but-
do they know about football?
But I mean, she gets bumped on the sidelines and shows a flag. I was like, okay, I'm going to put that on the female official here. But here we got a grown ass man
What time of the
running
month
down
is
there,
it?
bumps into a white kid who couldn't start for the ATOs at Georgia, and he's going to throw a flag there. I know it's about safety and you can't get
Can't
out
do
there,
it.
but
Can't
I mean,
do it. It's got to
can't
be a
throw the
sideline.
flag?
No, it's got to be a sideline warning. I mean, that's an ego thing for this official.
yeah, I mean, listen,
He got embarrassed, caught up in the moment. You cannot flag that. And
And even you drop the flag, when they come over and talk to you, and they say, listen, let's just make that a sideline warning. Because Brown, wait, you said they didn't call the targeting on the Arizona State-Texas game because the officials didn't want to put themselves into the game
That's
at that point in the game, right?
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Okay, that was a big – I really don't think Georgia maybe even scores a touchdown there. No guarantee, and there's no guarantee that Notre Dame doesn't go and win the game. But in that situation, I don't feel like as an official, I take that bump, I give them a warning, let somebody yell at the kid, and we call it a sideline warning, and don't back them up 15 yards.
Yeah, I actually think Georgia scores a touchdown.
I'm not sure they do.
Yeah, I mean, look.
I don't know if they do or not. They have momentum.
It's an unknown, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, they weren't going to score a touchdown after the penalty.
Negative. I don't know, man. If the play is going and you're in the white and I'm the official chasing the play, trying to make the call, like if I miss a hold right there, you think Kirby Smart's going to jump my ass?
Yeah, well, then I'm going to tell Kirby. I said, well, you need to shut up because you keep 39
I'm
back
just
and I'd be
saying-
down there to make the play, Kirby.
I'm just
what's he
saying
going
we
to say?
expect the officials to make the calls. He can't be making the call if some walk-on's got him tangled up in the white. I mean, that's the official spot right there.
Yeah.
So I really don't have a problem with the flag, honestly.
Yeah, it's a warning for me.
Yeah, I like the warning.
No, I don't have a problem with the flag. Like, if the play is going, I'm chasing the play. See, the thing with the Alabama thing, it was after the play. That's what is different with the Alabama-Michigan game. That was after the play. The play had ended.
Right.
The kid's knocked out of bounds. He's hurt. I don't know why the official was in such a hurry to get down there. She's in a hurry to get down there. Her and Freddie Roach get tangled up. She falls. She flags. Right? This was during the play. That's considerably different to me. You're in the white during the play.
It is very different.
Yeah.
The play has run past you. You shouldn't be out there. It's incorrect. He shouldn't be out there. Parker Jones should not be out there.
I mean, if I turn around and it's the head coach, I might let it go. But if it's some kid that doesn't even have pads on,
Yeah, well, the head coach gets the white. He gets
that's right. That's what I'm saying. If it's the head coach, I'm going to let it go. I'll give him a warning. He gets the white, but he can't interfere with me.
Yeah.
If it's an assistant coach during the play, and I know that in the moment,
No,
I might give it a warning.
The official, I don't know who he is. He was a poon.
Yeah.
No, he's just doing his job,
No,
man.
he caught one in the ribs. I guarantee if
He's
he
just doing his job. You don't want people interfering with you doing your job.
if he doesn't catch one in the ribs and doesn't get embarrassed, he doesn't call it.
I don't. I mean, he threw the flag immediately. I
No,
don't
he
think
did
he's
not.
got
I'm
time to
watching it right now.
process that.
Look. After he holds his side, watch. He catches it right there.
He's reaching for the flag.
No.
He doesn't throw the flag until he marks the
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah, he marks the ball and then he
holding
throws the
his
flag.
side like he got shot.
Oh, my God. I ran into this 150-pound holder.
Yeah. By the way, Parker Jones is never going to see the film.
What a freaking poon. You can't make that call.
I feel sorry for the kid. I feel sorry.
15-yard
for the
penalty.
kid.
It's a good call. The guy's just trying to do his job. Guy's in the way.
Probably doesn't matter anyway.
Nah, I mean, I don't know that they're going to score a touchdown there, but that was their best chance at doing it at that time.
Hey, didn't you guys think for a minute, I know James Sr. probably did, that Notre Dame would never be back on this stage?
I really did, Lance.
Their first New Year's Six bowl win in 31 years. And, I mean, Marcus Freeman was 7 last time Notre Dame won this big of a game.
Well, that's hard to believe. This big of a
Well, he was 38, right?
No, I mean, I was saying this big of a game, not his age necessarily. But as I processed that in real time,
Notre Dame people are calling
last time they won it.
The Notre Dame people are calling it their biggest win since they won the national championship in 1988.
It's not the biggest game they have played in that time, but it's certainly the biggest game they've won.
Well, I'll tell
I
you,
would agree.
good for Ryan Day winning these last couple of games because you know who would be coming after. Because everybody's like, well, who would the guy be? Well, it would be your former linebacker, Marcus Freeman.
Yeah.